All right. Looks like I am start up. There's Jason. All right. So we're starting off with a, full compliment here. How you doing, Jason? How's it going tonight?
So far, so good. How are you?
Yeah, yeah. Doing all right. Doing all
Good.
right. I was just
Good.
looking over my porter recipe, adding in some Herms elements. Oh, okay. So,
Yeah?
but yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So you want to kick us off here?
Well, before we do that, if it's okay, there was a problem with the
Yeah.
last recording. The audio that came over to YouTube came from my camera and not from my microphone.
Oh, you sound good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I from what I hear, which is coming through my interface, I'm fine. So is there a separate audio input control that one of us is missing?
Well, it would be yours, and it would be the cam mic settings at the bottom to make sure that the right microphone is selected.
Yeah, they're both
Um,
they're
I would,
both indicating the interface, which is exactly what it should be.
well, like I said, like right now, you sound great, and I think we can move forward.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
I always forget that I have a. Oh, go ahead.
Welcome to It's a Nice Place to Brew with Jason and George, a show about all things beer and beer making. Gentlemen, please broadcast responsibly.
All right. All right.
welcome to a nice place to brew. I'm Jason.
And I'm George.
We're live.
We
All
are.
right. Thank you so much for
Yep.
joining
Good to
us.
go.
This is a nice place to brew. This is today is Thursday, April 23rd. We do this weekly webcast every Monday and Thursday here on our YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Central. George based out of Virginia, me based out of Chicago, and this is a show about all things beer and beer making. Cheers, everyone. How you feeling tonight, George?
Cheers. Doing all right.
Good.
Yeah, actually, I've been working like a dog, so I took a little bit of time off today. Ended up being closer to a half day, but rested and played some video games and
That
took
sounds
the trash to the
fantastic.
dump.
Playing video games. I,
Yeah.
I, I say that mostly because I never do it, but that sounds amazing right now because I've had quite a week myself.
Yeah,
But anyways,
yeah. I was supposed to be.
before I go into the nuts
Oh
and
yeah, go
bolts
ahead.
of that, we have a website, www.aniceplacetobrew.com. George is a very, very talented web designer, in addition to IT security professional, beer maker, and all around just guy who, all around MacGyver, I guess. How do you like that?
Yeah, it's a description. That's
Sure.
short.
There,
That's
there
for
you go.
sure.
There you go. Check us out on social media as well. We have pages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Nice Place to Brew or Nice Place to Brew. And we tell about all things beer and beer making, like the show description. We have pictures of brew days, commentary on craft beers, and check out our platforms. Much appreciated. All right, I'm going to
Absolutely.
shut my mouth now.
No, you're good. You're good.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm babbling.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're all right. You gotta get that. You are remembering to do the thing that I should remember to do. Is like that.
Uh,
What we're supposed to do is make sure that our social media is out there and everything. I just want to
yes,
jump in, so
I,
it's
I
a good
know.
thing that you're
I know.
here.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Well, listen, you've
yeah.
picked up the technical slack in a huge way since we moved over to this new streamer that we're using for this, and I'm much appreciative of that. So I can at least pull my weight as far as to putting out our website and social media links. I can
Hey,
I can handle that.
that is all right, sir. Oh man.
What are you drinking?
So yeah, what am I drinking? I am drinking Brain Squeeze, which is a tangerine
Brain
mango
squeeze.
pie. Yeah, tangerine, mango, pineapple, smoothie sour. So I think that just means it has lactose in it. In fact, I'm right. Lactose has the malt hops, and then it has lactobacillus to sour it, and then
Okay.
it has its gimmicks, as it says, are tangerine, mango, pineapple, sea salt, lactose, sugar, and vanilla bean.
Wow. There's a
Yeah,
lot going on there.
there is, and let me tell you, it comes together pretty well. It's pretty tasty.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's.
I wouldn't
I
I
think
wouldn't have
I've talked
expected
about
that.
this. Yeah, I think I've talked about this one before, but it's been a while since I've drank it. But it's got like a sour sweet kind of flavor to it. So you get both sour and sweetness from it when you're drinking it. And it's quite nice. And I think I said before, one of my projects in the near future is going to be a yogurt sour beer. Try to do that. So, before we get too far into that, Jason, what are you drinking?
It's a repeat. Hop Slam from our friends
Hop
at
Slam.
Bell's Brewery
All
out
right.
of Michigan.
Yeah.
It's fortunately, like, I had quite a long day at work myself. I slammed down a plate full of food, so I'm properly fueled. So I feel okay about going into the show as with a 10% first beer, which is not always a wise
Yeah.
thing to do. But
It's not. It's
no,
not.
but I think my palate is prepared. So
Okay.
here we are.
All right, good. And that
This
Hop
is-
Slam, what is the IBU on that one? Does it say?
It does not, but I
Okay.
will find out.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can find out.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man.
Because that's
it is,
a... Oh, go ahead.
It's a 10% double IPA, and I
Okay,
gotta
I
tell
thought it
you,
was-
man, it's really good. I
Yeah?
mean, this is a very sought after double IPA. You take a sip of this, you understand why.
And those things are notoriously hard to balance, too, with a double IPA, because you either get too much alcohol, too much hops, or too much, adjunct flavor, and it's hard to balance.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
One can very much dominate the other.
Yeah, do you get heat off of it, like alcohol heat when you're...
Not 10% heat. Not at all.
No, not 10% heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which makes it dangerous, of course.
Of course.
Oh, they do not publish the IBUs on this.
Oh,
It's a trade secret. Interesting.
damn it, Bells.
Hey, man,
I had to tell you this. I just hit a new level of country this week.
a
and I'll
new
tell you
level
what
of
it is.
country. Okay.
Yeah, but it's got home brewing thrown in too. I traded a dozen eggs for homebrewed beer.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's not just country. That's a quarantine thing too. We're getting to trading resources rather than money.
yeah, yeah. We're ready for the barter system.
Yes, exactly. This is how it starts.
Yeah. Oh man, bringing in Scott. All right. Hey Scott, how's it going, man?
What's up,
I am
man?
doing well, thank you. You guys, how you doing?
Fantastic.
We're doing good.
Excellent. Ooh,
I was just telling Jason that this week I traded a couple beers for a dozen eggs from my neighbor that has chickens.
nice.
And
This is the
Yeah,
beginning of the
so-
barter system.
Is it
The
that
fall-
hard
the
to
fall
find
of the-
eggs
of
where
the
you are?
money economy? Hey,
Yeah.
Polly. What's up,
hey,
man?
Polly. No, Scott, it's not at all. But she just has a bunch of chickens and has too many eggs, so we did a trade.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Look at this.
hey, Polly,
Polly
Scott, what are you guys?
Polly is in a new setting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm over at Uncle Rick's house.
Okay,
You are.
Yeah, perfect.
you're good, man.
I'm
Yeah.
over. So I've been helping him work on his brew rig over here, and he's like,
nice.
"Hey, you want to do it on a computer?" I'm like, sure, okay. I've never done this before on a computer. I can see you all at one time now. Even
It's a little easier, isn't it?
Yeah. Holy cow!
Okay.
Anyways, let's properly introduce both of you, Paulie and Scott. Scott from WNY Brews, Paulie from the JBG, award-winning home brewer. What are you guys drinking tonight?
I'm drinking
Centennial.
Centennial?
just straight hopped.
All right, sorry, Founder Centennial. How about that?
Founders.
Oh,
Centennial.
gotcha. My bad. I am drinking my homebrewed Sierra Nevada clone. I brewed it a couple of
Sierra
times
Nevada
now.
clone.
I've just thrown it right onto the yeast cake. Just keep it rolling.
Give me a glass.
Right on. Right.
I just realized I have homebrew over here to drink. That's even better.
I'm not moving.
Here you are, Randy.
How was the music show this week, Scott?
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, no complaints. A couple of us, George, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook yet, but Jason, Polly, you guys should start to see them on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Not
Okay,
that you have
yeah.
to watch them. I'm just saying that they're popping up on Tuesdays. And it went fine. I got beer from Community Beer Works, which is one of the oldest, newest breweries in Buffalo. We had a brewing tradition through Prohibition right up until the 70s. And then for 20 years, from the 70s through the 90s, there was nothing. And then we started to get a couple of more breweries, and Community Beer Works started in 2012. And when they started, there was about 4 Buffalo breweries, and now maybe there's 36, 37.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of breweries around here. So I got some Community Beer Works. I got some barbecue from a local place down the street here. It was great. It was a good time.
So just hearing that, where my brain goes is everything you just mentioned was local.
Oh, yeah.
So it becomes all about supporting local, and I think that's such a great place that we're going. So hats off to you there.
I don't buy non-local anymore.
Yeah,
Beer,
yeah.
it's all local beer. I'm a homer.
Yeah. That's great.
Can I do a little plug here? If you go to buffalobeerleague.com/breweries, you can see all the Buffalo breweries.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's where my podcast lives right now, is at buffalobeerleague.com.
WNY Brews.
Yep.
Very good.
1, 2, 3,
Nice.
4. I'm going to count.
Yeah. Oh, number of breweries in the Buffalo area?
16. Yeah.
Does that include in the suburbs?
Yep.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. So in the Western New York area.
Okay. And Paulie's getting handed a beer.
Yeah, it's Irish Red that Uncle Rick brewed.
Oh, right on.
Sean and
Okay.
Uncle Rick brewed it.
It's Kilt Lifter Red.
Kilt Lifter Red is what it's called.
Okay.
They did pretty good job.
Let's see. That's an Irish red, all right. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So to go back to a story that I told on one of our podcasts, and by the way, George and I do a podcast under the name A Nice Place to Brew. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, and all the major podcast platforms. Check us out. But anyways, one of my earlier brew days this year was an Irish red, which I swore when I did the first pour that what I had made was an English brown ale. And my story is that my beer transformed over the first week and a half in a keg to being what I intended to make, which was an Irish red. And I still have no
Okay.
explanation for that.
Yeah. I remember that.
I suppose the explanation may be that my eyes are bad, which they're not. But I mean, I don't know what else to chalk that up to anymore.
British brown ale and an Irish red are not extremely similar.
Not extremely similar.
No, I mean, one is a lot more caramel, malty. The Irish red is going to be a little bit drier.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
The
if
color is the
maybe you
most
had
noticeable.
some. Well, yeah, I'm wondering if you had
Yeah,
some extra
I think
yeast
what-
in the keg that finished it out.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Do you think that would have changed the color though?
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
What? I'm a music teacher.
Your biggest thing about calling it a brown ale though was the color. It wasn't
Correct.
anything with the
Yes.
flavor or anything
That's
like
right.
that.
That's right.
So yeah, it maybe it was more. My working theory was it was more sediment that dropped out maybe to the bottom of the keg
yeah.
and ended up changing the color for you.
That does make sense. Which, you know what? And I feel
Yeah.
good about that because I intended to make an Irish red. You know?
Right. Well, and you did.
There you go.
That's one of my favorite styles to brew, but not one of my favorite styles to drink. So
Really?
I never do it.
Not a favorite
I've gotten
style
the
to drink, huh? Okay.
It's an easy beer to brew. You know, it's one of the most forgiving ones. It's what I always tell people to start with when they're starting. Like, go with an Irish red. Well, I'm sorry, for people in Western New York, our water profile is
'cause
really
your
good
water.
for Irish
Okay.
reds and brown
Yeah.
ales. So people around here, I always tell them start Irish red or start a brown ale. It's gonna turn out good. But I mean, it's a good beer. I like to have a couple of them, but I'd rather be on the extremes. I'm either going to be super hoppy,
Okay.
or I'm going to be super clean. Right? Like if I'm going to do a lawnmower beer, I want to go lawnmower beer.
okay.
Or if I'm going to go IPA, I'm going to go IPA. I have a brown ale every once in a while, but in the middle there, like except for on St. Patrick's Day or in March, I don't necessarily want an Irish red.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
I'll
got
show myself out. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Sure.
good. You're
It's all
good.
good, man.
Uh,
I like
I've
hearing
gotten the
about
question.
What were you going to say, Paulie?
what happened to Scott? No, like Irish red ales in particular. That's been my Achilles heel. I can never get my color right. It always ends up being a brown. It always drove me crazy because like I'm looking for a certain color when I've done it, and maybe it's because I keep throwing too many goddamn hops in it because I'm trying to make it like an American red, very red, ruby red color and hoppy as hell. And it always comes out brown. I've been trying this for 10 years. I've given up.
What's
after
the
like 7.
What's the dark malt that you typically go to?
I've done roasted rye. I've done rye. I've done roasted rye. I tried Cara Red one time. That probably didn't work, but I did try that because it said it was red in there. The only thing I haven't tried is that Red X. I think I might have to try something with that.
Well, the Red X is a base malt,
that
but
malt-
I mean, you should be using some kind of dark
Okay, but
malt.
I hear you can make it red though. It's always been like roasted barley, kind of a mix of roasted barley or
All right.
chocolate or
Okay.
anything like that.
Okay.
Roasted
All right.
barley. Every recipe I looked up, that's what I've done.
Right.
I'm
Well,
up for suggestion.
no, and I mean that's the right pick. I mean, just you have to be careful with that, not to overdo it. And with those dark malts, as the four of us all know, it's really easy to overshoot.
Oh yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I should send you guys some of my water.
Sure.
The water is great here for Irish Reds.
Okay. All right. I
What are you
wonder.
gonna send us like 20? Send us a picture.
Can we send in a tanker truck and just
Yeah,
just
sounds
fill it with water? How about that?
I'll tell you what.
Road trip, KPG road trip.
I'll preheat it so you don't have to worry about strike temp.
We just gotta keep that temperature all the way back to
That's
the
right.
other side.
Right.
I'll send you some preheated water. You know what? People don't do it often enough, but doing extract brews and then just going with an RO water or a distilled water from like the supermarket. Because if you're doing an extract, they already have the right brewing salts in there for the right color.
That's
So
true.
sometimes if I'm going for a water profile that's so out of my range here, like I said, ours is perfect for Irish Reds or Browns. But there's times when I'm doing something really German where I'll go RO and either I'll build it up or I'll go extract, knowing that it'll hit it if I go distilled here at the house.
So you do all grain and extract batches?
Oh yeah,
Really? Okay.
whatever it takes for the beer. And the Grainfather and the RoboBrew, they're just, they're electric elements.
Right.
So it really
Right.
doesn't matter what you're doing in there. You could throw in an extract.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's a really good idea.
Before
Yeah,
I was indoors 100%, I was doing extract on the stove in the winters and all grain in the summers outside.
Shorter brew day when you do the
Makes
extract
sense.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus
Yeah.
you're inside and you don't have to be. Our taps would literally freeze outside, so I couldn't
True.
get the water anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done an extract in some time. I think Jason, you're
haven't
probably
either.
in the same boat.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, back to the early days in your backyard. That would have been a lot
Yeah,
of time.
and those weren't great, but I wonder if that's more about us than the extract. I wonder
I
if we
always
did
think
one
it's-
now, if it would
that-
be.
Yep.
That's a good question.
It's because everyone starts with
Yeah.
extract. So your first couple of beers are all extract, and of course they're going to be terrible. They're your first couple of beers.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's a guy that George and I both know that goes to a monthly homebrewers meetup, or at least a meetup that will resume once the world
Yeah.
begins again. But he has a new beer that he brings to every meeting, and he does nothing but extract batches.
Mhm.
It never has done all grain. And
he's
he's
done
had
good
some
stuff, too.
yeah, he's done some
Yeah.
relatively decent offerings. So I mean, he's just never taken the plunge into all grain, which I've always found a bit odd, but maybe he's just got a point. He just likes the shorter brew days.
Yeah.
Well, and from what I've learned from talking to him, he's satisfied with what he's doing, and he's
100%.
an old he's an
100%.
old dog too. So it's like, why learn a new trick?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple of people in our homebrew club that are 100% extract brew. And they're running into the same issues that everyone else does. And they have their great beers and they have their not so great beers, and it's generally not because it's extract or all grain. It's because fermentation temperature got away from them, or maybe they put it in the wrong
Right.
vessel and there was something in there, they didn't clean it well enough, or whatever it is.
True.
Yeah. I've been thinking about expanding. I told Jason that I purchased a video editing software, and I've been
Which
I've
one?
been considering. It's called, what's it called? Hit something. Hit Film.
Really? Okay. No.
Yeah, and so I am. It was pretty well.
And we lost George. Do you dabble in filmmaking as well?
I do. Have you not followed my YouTube channel?
Apparently not.
It's
Oh, boy.
youtube.com/WNY Brews.
Okay. All right. We got to talk. I have a background in this stuff too.
I would love to talk. I do
good.
a lot of video editing.
Wow. Okay. All right. What do you use? With
Final
this-
Final Cut Pro X.
All right. Okay. All right. So you're using production quality stuff. Okay.
I'm a
All right.
Mac user. I'm on a PC right now. I also have a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud, and I have used Premiere. However, when I'm doing creative, when I'm doing music, and when I'm doing video, I'm on my Mac and I'm using Final Cut Pro, or I'm
Okay.
using Adobe Audition.
Okay. Well, let's talk at a later time.
Right? Nope.
I
This
like-
just
I like
turned
the
into a
topic.
video podcast.
Yeah, I know.
just now.
I know. I want to
Just
be
now.
careful about this.
Well,
we did
I brought it up
advertise at the top
because-
of the show that this is about all things beer and beer making, and I'd like to stick with
Yeah,
that
well,
as best I can.
I brought it up because what I'm considering making to cut my teeth in video editing is tutorials on how to do different homebrew stuff. And so I was thinking maybe how to.
His internet is unstable.
Oh, George.
That's
is
what it is.
Gone again.
Yeah.
I wanted
Poor-
to hear the end of that sentence.
Poor guy. I think he got cut off right at that same point last time too.
I gotta tell you, this program that he's talking about, what, Hit Video or something?
Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm on their website right now, though.
Okay. All right.
That is not a cheap program.
Okay.
Hit Film Pro. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't have a Mac, which I get it.
He does not have a Mac. I do know that.
But yeah, Pro Video. Oh my God, the prices on these.
He's saying Hit Video is expensive.
Hit Video is expensive. I mean, Final Cut Pro is $200 and you're done. But you have to have a Mac.
But you have yeah.
He just texted me.
Are there different versions
Yeah,
of it
all
of
right.
Hit Video?
Jason, we're gonna have a talk after this. I'm sorry, we don't have to delve into this any longer. But
You got
we're gonna have
You
a
got
talk.
Then we'll talk. I'm gonna talk.
George, you go to youtube.com/WNY Brews.
Check out the JBT one.
I don't know
Is
if
that?
can
Oh,
do
you have some tutorials on there.
There's a
that's-
couple of tutorials. Mostly, it's reviews of homebrewing products.
Okay. Well, like I said, it was mostly so I could cut my teeth and learn how to edit together video and things like that. So I'll probably still pursue it, but people should definitely go check that out. He's
Yeah, for sure.
not saying that for his own health, So,
You want that too,
but yeah,
All right, sorry guys. I just got a message to help somebody. I'm gonna help Will County tomorrow canning, so
Oh,
I
right
had to
on.
talk to Jamie really quick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got a bunch of beer already getting ready to put in cans. So
Great, especially if you can hide it the whole
You know, I'm
gonna go home
surprised,
shit.
guys. I'm surprised. George is gone again. Holy cow!
Yeah.
I'm surprised with the amount of breweries around me, at least, that are not doing poorly right now. That they're actually doing fairly well because of their canning. They're running out of stuff. I mean, the people who have huge warehouses full of kegs that they sell to bars and to distributors
Yeah.
obviously have an issue right now.
Mhm.
But the smaller people who rely primarily on their tap room, at least in my area, are doing okay.
See, I've seen a lot of that as well, but here's the commentary that I've heard because the appearance is a little bit deceptive.
Mhm.
Number one, the sale of packaged beer has gone up substantially, mostly because that's the only way to drink beer now because all bars and breweries, tap rooms are all closed down. But the biggest profit engine of breweries is taproom sales, like tenfold. So while they may be increasing their package sales, the area that's really their lifeblood has been cut off from them. So it's still a very unfavorable picture for them, even with the higher package sales.
right.
Yeah,
I've heard
now,
that too.
they make more money per pint. They make more money selling per pint.
like
they do.
tenfold. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You don't have, because with that, you don't have distributor costs. You don't have canning costs. It's just, straight from your lines to a glass, and that's it.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the margin on those is much higher than on what they're doing.
Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, certainly the overall change is going to be different from brewery to brewery and probably state to state, and it's still, it's a cool part of the story when you see increased distribution for some of these smaller local breweries. And hopefully that's enough to at least weather the storm. And I trust that, in the market, in this economy that we have, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
There's the optimist in me. What was that bottle that you just pulled out, Scott?
I know. What were you selling?
Okay, the bottle itself is a sangria bottle, but it's a homebrew.
Okay.
Oh,
And So the story on this homebrew is it's a mead and a sizer. Separate.
Interesting.
I made a mead and I made a sizer, which is a mead with apple juice or with apple cider, because we had apple cider. We picked apples from one of my friend's house. We pressed the apples. By the way, you can see the video of that at youtube.com/WNY Brews. And we pressed the apples and made cider out of it. And I thought these were all 1 gallon or 3 gallon batches, these two. I'm going to make a mead. I'm going to make a sizer. And then when it got down to it, I didn't like either of them on their own. So I combined them in my bottle bucket and I threw in some spiced rum. I fortified it with a liter of spiced rum.
I like that.
So then that got bottled into about 24 750 milliliter wine bottles, thinking that it would be a still cider, and now they're starting to carbonate. So I need to drink them quickly before they start popping corks.
Can you hold that up close to
Oh,
the
I love
camera so
it.
we can see it?
It's fairly opaque.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a sizer, which is a mead and a cider,
Yeah. Yeah.
mixed with a mead, fortified with Captain Morgan spiced rum.
That sounds delicious.
So
It's not bad. It's pretty
like-
good. It's really smooth. It's got a spiced rum flavor to it. It's only 6 or 7%. It's not a high alcohol drink.
Well, you just need to spike it harder then, sir.
Well, yeah, for the
more of that captain.
it was 6 gallons and 1 liter of spiced rum, so it wasn't a lot of fortification.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So would you call that like a miserum?
I don't know what you call it,
Sizer rum, miserum.
but yeah, the idea was to make something really strong that you could drink in a wine glass as a still sizer, fortified sizer. And when I did the math afterwards, and I told my wife, like, yeah, this is like 6%, maybe 7%. And she was like, what happened? Like, well, we just need a lot more rum for a 6 gallon batch of this stuff.
Yep.
The 6 gallon batch was 5%, right? But then to add one liter of rum to 6 gallons doesn't do much. It gets you the
Right.
flavor. You can tell the spiced rum flavor in there.
Yeah.
When in doubt, add more rum.
Yeah. Honestly, like I love everything about that description. Like, I mean, I'm a big autumn fan, and that's painting a very autumn picture there.
This is super autumn. This
Yes.
is autumn
Yeah,
in a glass.
100%. I'm totally picturing like if you infused cinnamon sticks in there, or cinnamon, or something like that. I'm totally just picturing, just a cool October day with that, and that sounds amazing.
There's a lot of room for cinnamon in here. I could totally do that.
Yeah.
Again,
When
it's slowly carbonating, and that's
when
scary.
I have a question about that. Did you put any kind of stabilizer in it, or did you just assume it was done fermenting?
That's why.
Like, did
That's
you
why
put-
it's carbonating right now, because he didn't.
No, I didn't put any stabilizer in there. It's a stupid reason, but my mother, who lives right next door, will get headaches from sulfites. So whenever I can, I leave stabilizers out of my wine. I leave stabilizers out of my drinks.
Okay.
Because she will get headaches from it, and I can tell her, no, this is a red without sulfites.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's You're playing a dangerous game
sense.
with that.
You are.
You can't see it. I bottled some cider. We made 15 gallons of cider from this apple tree in his yard.
15 gallons from one tree.
15 gallons from one tree. It was
Oh my God.
labor
Wow.
intensive. It took a lot of
imagine.
work.
Yeah.
But it's not the single apple tree that you're picturing, because it grew tall. they keep them short in an orchard so that they can reach everything.
Okay.
And that's not the case with this. We had to get a huge ladder and get up to the top of this apple tree. But anyway, we got 15 gallons of it, and I made 5 gallons of it for him, and I pasteurized it in the grain father. So I had the water in the grain father at 180, and I just left it there and dropped in bottles. And out of 40 bottles, only 3 of them popped on me. Two of them exploded in the grain father underwater. Not a huge deal.
Okay.
I got all the glass out. Wasn't a big deal. One of them was when I took it out and I was wiping it off and getting it dry to put it into storage. The cap popped off and hit me in the arm here.
Okay.
And I panicked. Like, I can't go to the hospital, this COVID stuff. I assumed I'm going to be bleeding, like pouring blood out of my arm because I got hit by a shard of glass.
Right.
And it was just the lid, and it got me good. But it looks like the scar is starting to heal.
Oh gosh. Oh. Fred has made her first appearance on the Nice Place to Brew webcast.
Is that Fred? Is that a corgi? What is that?
It's a corgi, yeah.
That's corgi. Yep, it's my little girl Fred. So,
Fred, like Once Upon a Mattress, short for what?
Well, it's more like Angel and short for Winifred.
Winifred, yeah, from Once Upon a Mattress, or is that just the music theater geek in me coming out?
What's the Once Upon a Mattress link? I don't know this.
It's a musical production, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on The Princess and the Pea, and the princess in it, her name is Winifred, and she goes by Fred.
Yeah,
huh.
Same deal, but all of our pets are named after characters from Joss Whedon shows.
Oh,
so
fun.
Like my other corgi's named Wesley, and so Fred is named after Fred in Angel. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey,
but I had
Buffalo guy right there.
Joss is a Buffalo guy?
Yeah.
No, not Joss Whedon. What's his name? Jason Bareilles?
David?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
David.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, David Boreanaz. Yeah, David Boreanaz.
That's his name?
I knew who you were talking about.
I did not know that. Okay.
He is from Buffalo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we don't know much. When we find out somebody famous is from Buffalo, we grasp on hard to that person.
Yeah.
There's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
There's the Google Dolls, there's him, and there's William Fichtner, and that's it.
What does Virginia have, George?
Oh, man.
Do they have like go-to Virginia celebrities?
I'm sure, but I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
NASCAR drivers.
We have O.J. Simpson.
NASCAR drivers,
Does that count?
True.
What?
It counts.
We have O.J. Simpson.
I don't know if you want to brag about that one.
He was a Buffalo Bill.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
And then he got into other activities.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But we don't talk about the other activities.
That's a big piece to leave out. Kind of a big piece.
Yeah. I don't want to go all.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't want to go all Godwin on you, but Hitler was an art student and then something.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what was the topic tonight before you invited me on?
There wasn't a topic.
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
All things beer and beer making apparently is just a
because it took 39 minutes to get to Hitler. That's how long it took.
Hey, to be fair, how many of these have we done and we just now got there?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think our hands are pretty clean for the most part. But wow,
for the internet, that's a long time for the internet. Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna have people petitioning this webcast now.
Well, It's not like I said anything good about
Hey,
it.
listen, hey man, no such thing as bad publicity. You
Be
know,
like, you
the
guys
old
hear
saying
the
goes,
Nice Place to Brew podcast last week? I don't
You
know, man. They had some really
bastards.
positive things to talk about.
It went from OJ to Hitler, and
Yep. For what it's worth, OJ is from San Francisco. He's
Yeah.
not a Buffalonian at heart, and that's, I mean, he was a Buffalo Bill though.
Right.
okay, all right.
So was
Yeah,
Dean
yeah.
Cain, and Dean Cain is a terrible person also.
Why? What's
Yeah.
wrong with Dean King?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
Okay.
it's funnier to say that.
Oh,
though.
okay. Does he have some criminal past that I don't know about? I watched Superman when I was a kid. I liked it.
Presumably.
But then Wisconsin has Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ah.
Nobody here's from Wisconsin, though.
It's true.
We got Virginia, Illinois, and New York, Western New York.
Yep.
Western
Yeah.
New York. It's very
Western
different
New
from
York.
New York.
Yes,
Point taken.
yeah.
Point taken.
We have learned that over the course of these
Yes.
these
Yep.
recordings. Yes.
We are 8 hours away from West New York, or from New York City. We are
Right.
closer to, we're probably closer to Chicago
It's probably
than
true.
we
Oh,
are
you
to New York
You're,
City.
you're certainly more of a Midwestern city than
That's
than
kinda
a New York
true,
City.
yep.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
we're much closer to Cleveland, Toronto, Detroit
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
than we are to New York
So-
City.
Yeah. How far is Detroit from Buffalo?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, that I don't know. I know Cleveland's 3 hours. That part I do know.
You do know that. That's weird to know that.
There's a reason for that. I was part of an integration team with a company that we acquired out of Cleveland, and
Yeah.
one of my counterparts was from Buffalo and made regular drives in.
It's not a super hard trip. We do it all the time.
Yeah, and it's the whole trip is right around the perimeter of Lake Erie.
Yep. And Detroit is only 4 hours away.
That's what it is, huh? 4? Okay, all right.
Yeah. And Chicago is. You got to
So while
know
he
them.
does that, not to bring this too far back to beer and beer making,
8
I am
hours.
going to 8 hours. Okay, I'm going to send you guys and Polly. I'm going to need your address if I'm going to do this, but I want to send you guys some snow globes of the Belgian blonde that I made. So we might be able to do some sampling on live on air.
What's
That
the
would
snow
be
globe?
awesome.
Do a bottle share in a remote capacity.
Is it
Oh, yeah,
snow
for sure.
globes because you're not allowed to send it via?
Listen, we can't talk about the laws here on the show, but
Right.
I'm just saying
But-
if there's a gift that arrives in some capacity, we don't have to say what, but
Right.
that can be a contribution here to the webcast.
Do I
And
have
like-
your addresses? Did you email me your addresses?
You were on the email to Yakima, so you should have Jason
Okay.
in mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how you acquired a bottle of Chicago's own.
Chicago's
Okay.
finest Malorts.
Yeah.
Then good. If I have your address, then good. Because again, you got to
All right.
get some Buffalo stuff.
That would be awesome.
Well, and we call it, Scott, we call it snow globes because, like snow globes, they're made of glass and filled with liquid. So it's just easier to, and say, hey, it's snow globe. It's snow globe like,
My
Yeah.
local shipping place, and they're friends of mine. The shipping place, because I try to go local when I can, and I've tried to ship out my stuff before, and they're like, "What's this?" And I say, "It's yeast samples." Right, and then.
Just that yeast samples.
That's true. There's suspended yeast in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's yeast samples. It's important stuff. They're like, oh, we can't ship beer. We can ship wine. Like, this is stupid, guys.
Right.
This is stupid.
Is that the law? You can ship wine, but not
No.
beer.
I don't know if
It's
it's
not
anywhere
at
else.
all.
I was gonna say.
In New York,
Because-
you can ship wine in New York, but you can't ship beer.
Yeah,
No.
and I've talked with a few people. It is perfectly legal to ship homebrew from place to place. Not commercially in a lot of places, but privately, it's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
But there are places that get twitchy about it, which is why a lot of times it's just easier to avoid the subject.
And you know what? I will stick to that.
I like snow globes. I'm in.
All right. Well, I look forward to
I could-
trying Belgian blonde ale made by Virginia's own George.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys want my homebrew.
Well, why not?
Sure. Why not?
I think
All
it'd
right.
be fun to do like a
It'd
sampling
be
of,
fun. That's a great idea. I was
That'd be
actually
an
thinking
awesome-
about doing this with the note.
Yeah.
We can
This is
start
a
doing
perfect.
it
This is a
often, like,
perfect setting for it. It totally
Yeah.
is.
All right,
Could be fun.
homebrew. I'll send you some homebrew. My Buffalo in a box is not working right now.
Okay.
But as soon as it is, you guys are getting Buffalo stuff. Did I tell you I sent it out to Twitter on Buffalo?
Yes,
Don't
you
think
did.
so.
Yeah.
What?
Where
In fact, I saw it. I saw you send it
Okay.
out asking.
I
Yeah,
sent it
yeah.
out to Twitter. I said some friends sent me some Malort. What can I send them that is Buffalo but is also terrible?
Right.
And
And also terrible.
I had a bunch of suggestions, but none of them are really terrible. Right? Like people have their preferences. Like
Right.
you should send them this, but I'm like, I know a lot of people that really like that. That's not
Well,
that's
believe
not
it or not, there's-
objectively terrible.
believe it or not, there's people that like Malort. too.
Yeah. Can we talk about that in more detail? What's been the aftermath since last week's show where you had your first taste of Malort?
I described it to a couple
Yeah.
of people in Buffalo, and there's a couple of friends on the podcast who said, I've always wanted to try that. And I said, well, you can as soon as we can get together again. But
Right.
how to describe it? I assumed like it wouldn't be terrible. Like it would be burning and not pleasant. Right? But then I
Right.
tried it and like, wow, no, this is actually there's a flavor here that is horrendous. This is a terrible
Yeah.
flavor.
That is objectionable.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could say this is objectionably bad. This is not subjective. This is an objectively bad flavor.
Right.
But and my wife thought so too. So I've got friends who want to try it and trying to come up with that same thing from Buffalo. Like, what can we send out that's objectively bad?
Objectionably bad. I like that.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot of bad things from Buffalo, a lot of bad food and a lot of bad drink. But they all have their defenders. And very few of them are that. And somebody on Twitter said Buffalo doesn't have a Malort.
I saw that.
Right?
I saw that. Yeah.
Buffalo
Right?
does
And I'm
not
like,
have a Malort.
I understand what you're saying. No, we don't. We don't have a Malort. The thing that people love to hate. We don't have that.
Yeah.
It's our underdog syndrome. Everything we have, we're fiercely proud of.
Right.
Wings. If you do wings wrong, you will get Buffalo people on your feed, like yelling at you.
Right. You'll get run out of town.
Not
Okay.
not me, but other people. But if you eat buffalo wings with ranch, for example,
Yeah,
With
that's horrific.
apparently is a thing across the country, eating wings with ranch.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will get run out of town in Buffalo. If people come to play for the Buffalo Bills or the Buffalo Sabres and they say that they love wings, hey, everyone, I love wings. Here's my thing of wings. And we find out that they have ranch, people will light them up. People will never forgive them for that.
Huh.
It's a stupid thing that we do, but we do it.
Is it just blue cheese that's
It's
acceptable?
just blue cheese.
Just
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Is the
So,
only
all right.
acceptable.
All right. Can we?
Hot
Can we?
dog in Chicago.
That's Chicago's version of it. Absolutely, is
Like a
putting ketchup
Chicago
on a
hot
hot dog.
dog.
Yeah, no
Yes,
ketchup.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can I introduce one wings topic here on the show? Is that okay?
Yes, but
All right.
you may be wrong, and I'll let you know.
That's why I'm bringing this up. Okay, so I am very big into hot wings.
Of course.
I love them.
We just call them wings. They're just wings.
Okay.
See, you're already wrong.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Okay.
And we have them at least once a week, and that's not a lie.
Okay.
Everybody in
chickens,
Buffalo has
man.
wings at least once a week.
At least once a week. Okay. All right. But anyways, my go-to wings are the ones with dry rub spices on them.
That's really contentious around here.
Okay, that's what I
Okay.
want to hear. Is
There's a couple of wings around here that are really good with a dry rub.
yeah.
And some people really like them, and some people will say those aren't buffalo wings.
Right
but
here. I think it's fantastic. Okay, I'm not by myself on this, so I
Do
at
they
least
still
feel
have
good
a
about that.
sauce?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. See,
no,
no,
they're baked.
you're gonna lose it right there.
Really?
Oh, did you say baked?
Uh-oh.
I don't know how. Okay, I don't.
I heard
don't know.
that. I heard
Yeah,
my.
I heard that
Maybe,
too.
maybe I misspoke.
Are my cans? They're not working here.
Yeah,
But no,
bake-
they're-
So,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Polly.
what's the traditional buffalo way to deep fry them?
A traditional buffalo
How
wing
do you cook your wings? Is that how you do it?
is
deep
deep
fry 'em?
fried with butter and Frank's hot sauce.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Is traditional.
Yeah.
Everyone has a little twist on that. Some of the best wings in Buffalo will add a dry rub to it. Like there's Mamosers right down the street from me. There's Doc Sullivan's has a dry rub. You don't need to know these names. There's no quiz after this. I'm just letting you know.
If we're ever there.
If you come to Buffalo, you're going to end up getting 911 Tavern, Bar Bill. Don't go for Anchor Bar. They're the original wings
Right.
at Anchor Bar, but they're the touristy ones. They're not the best. Or you go for Duff's, and none of those are dry rubbed.
Okay.
But the ones I mentioned before, Doc Sullivan's, Mamosers, and there's a couple others, are dry rubbed, and they're beloved around here. They're top 10.
Okay. So, was Frank's, because Frank's is now part of McCormick.
Yeah.
Was Frank's originally a Buffalo company?
No,
No. So, how did that become synonymous? I wonder.
because of the Anchor Bar.
Because of the Anchor Bar? Okay.
Yeah, the Anchor Bar is the quote unquote origin. And of course there's
It's like original Sal's. Everybody says that they're the original, in Philly, and sorry, yeah.
if you come to Buffalo, Anchor Bar is the accepted originator of the buffalo wing. However, it's contested.
It's contested. All right.
But yeah, I'm looking up Frank's hot sauce. Just because that was the one on the original one.
Yeah, that is. It's. I actually used to live right near
Out of
the McCormick
Cincinnati.
plant.
Look at that. Sorry.
That's all right. I used to live right near the McCormick plant in Maryland,
Yeah.
and man, that whole area smelled like different spices depending on what they were making at the time. Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, it says it is known as the primary ingredient as the first buffalo wing sauce developed in 1964 by Teresa Bellissimo at the Anchor Bar and Grill in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And yeah, I have currently in my house, and this is during a quarantine, 64 ounces of Frank's hot sauce, which is a large.
yeah.
That's a half gallon. That's 2
Right.
quarts. And a second 32 ounce. That's a quart of Frank's wing
Emergency?
sauce.
My God.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like people don't understand. Like people have wings during the Super Bowl. People have wings a couple of times a year, and I feel like I need to be the preacher on this. That people in Buffalo have wings once, twice a week.
So, how many of your houses come like in your kitchen is a built-in deep fryer?
I have an air fryer
Okay. So that's another question. Is that acceptable?
and a deep fryer. There's ways to get it really close with an air fryer.
Okay.
But I do have an air fryer. But the best way to describe it is my wife saying, and I told her, like, we need to get this buffalo wings, by the way, or I'm sorry, chicken wings in the country right now are a surplus because people aren't buying them. People aren't going out. So there's a surplus of wings. And I told her we need to go get a 50-pound sack of wings. And she said, no, let's just order out for the wings. Let's just spend that money instead and get wings from a place. So most people in Buffalo will not have a fryer handy just because the local place on the corner has amazing wings.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you guys, you're making me real hungry right now. And,
yeah. I'm glad I ate right before the show.
For wings.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd like to
Yeah,
ask,
well, yes, but you know, I'm getting hungry for the actual good Chicago thing, and I might have to pull the trigger on an order of some Portillo's Italian beef.
Yes.
Oh, I've been looking into it.
Uh-huh.
I've been looking into getting some Portillo's shipped to me because of you guys.
You'll be glad. You'll be glad.
Absolutely should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering considering what I put you through with Malort, I feel like it's the least I could do for you.
Yeah, the least we
is
could do,
get you some of.
I'll find it
good
myself.
Chicago
I'll
Portillo.
find a good one.
Times it's really good. It's really easy to do too.
That's
Make
true.
your own.
we'll have these guys.
Is it? Because
Yeah.
I have a half a cow in the
I'm
freezer.
kidding. We bought it from Portillo's and taken it on trips. You know, like it comes prepackaged.
Oh yeah.
With the-
Yeah. No, yeah.
We've done that. To have it shipped somewhere is ridiculously expensive, but to pick it up and take it somewhere is pretty cheap.
Right, but
like
if I have
30,
to
40.
travel from Virginia to Chicago to get it,
Yeah.
yeah.
We take it with us when we go places.
Yeah.
That's what
Well, are you taking a road trip out to Virginia?
We can knock out one of these.
As long as we're talking beer, have any of you people tried Aaron Franklin's barbecue in Austin?
No.
In
No, I would love
Austin or
to.
Boston?
No, Austin.
Austin, Texas.
That's a
Austin.
that's like the Mecca. I follow Aaron Franklin for everything. I had some brisket tonight that was amazing from the local place down the street. And I wish I could make my brisket taste like that. And Aaron Franklin is one of the people I follow to do that.
My daughter lives right by her, so we were there 5 months ago or something. Yeah, it's really, really good. Everything they do there is good. It amazes me that he has all his recipes, everything. He's so open.
Yeah.
You know, with his YouTube stuff. I mean, he's not hiding anything. Usually it's like, oh, you know, well, I'll tell you, but I have to kill you stuff, you know. But
Right?
Yeah.
he's not like that. It's pretty cool.
So hey, what are you brewing these days?
I got to pee. Excuse me.
Well, it's been a while. Made that red that Polly was drinking with Sean,
Right.
and I've been in the Brewers Guild for years, but I joined right after I first had homebrew, so
Okay.
it's been a huge learning curve. And I've only brewed about 4 times with Sean and Polly and stuff. I've been to several people's house, Joel's and stuff, where they brewed and stuff. So
Okay. All
I'm
right.
still working on it.
Yeah, Joel.
Finally
has-
getting the rig together, it takes a while.
There's
Yeah,
a
it
lot
does.
of knowledge from those couple of names that you just mentioned. So you're
True
in the
enough.
right place.
Yeah, Joel is quite the setup there.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
has evolved since I was there. You know, although he just got
Yeah.
married, so I don't know if he's brewing.
Well,
know?
he's running the
I
show. Well, he's running the show at Will County.
Oh, that's right, he is. Yeah.
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 He's working his butt off. Is what he's doing. I don't know about running the
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah. Oh man.
Did Paulie
Yeah,
say that he was
he's
helping
kinda
you with a? Did Paulie say he was helping you with the setup?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you anywhere near where we can see
Depending
any
on
part
my
of it?
That's been like, yeah, I'm pretty close. I think another brew or two, and I'll be good on my own. I kind of styled my thing off of honestly Mike at a Brew and Grow, and he's
Oh,
got like
okay.
the stainless steel, cart system on the wheels,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Right.
I kind of went that route and kind of did it on, on the cheap, as I tended to do most of my brewing purchases. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's coming along fairly well, and the nice thing about that is like totally adjustable. I mean, if you want to lower something by a few inches or change this, that, or the other, it's real easy.
Nice.
When you build a wooden rig or a steel rig, you're stuck with what you got, kind of where the wire rack things on the wheels, they have a lot more flexibility, I'd say. So seeing as how I'm still really learning, it's probably a good thing.
We'll get that thing up and running soon.
All right.
Probably just we'll get that thing up and running soon.
Yeah.
We know we heard it.
Yeah, we heard him.
Well,
Yeah.
well said, Paulie. Well, like I
Yeah,
said, sir, you're in good hands.
My no chill system was that racking system that I was showing you.
Okay.
Those pictures that we looked at back a few weeks ago when I was doing that. That was his setup I was working on.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Paul was
Yeah.
close to me. So
Yeah.
works out good.
So,
Actually, I'm going to
And
probably do the same thing with
He's
my
a
rig.
little bit knowledgeable, but
speaking of system upgrades, I have officially decided. I was on the fence about it, but I have officially decided that I am going to use my Herm system on Big Brew Day to make that porter. Come what may, we'll see what happens.
All right. It's going to be quite a brew day for all of us.
Yeah, I just need to figure
Yeah.
out a decent sparge setup for myself, but other than that, I'm ready to go.
I still
You
have
got that
pieces.
pump, right? That
I
variable
do.
speed?
Not
You could
not
use
that
that.
one. No, I
No.
I have a single speed pump. I'm going to use a ball valve to control the flow.
There's actually you can buy that switch. It's like a mid switch where you pump your you plug your pump into that, and then you can control the speed on it.
Yeah, but that's
I know
hard on the. I've heard that's hard on the motor because you're actually like not feeding it enough electricity to slow it down, and so I've heard that's hard on the motor. So if I'm going to do that, I'd rather just get one that has it built in and is designed to be variable speed.
So me being a plumber and feeling a lot of pressure when you're using your valve, which it does work, I think you're putting more pressure on that pump part because you're not letting it shoot out as much as you want. It needs to be shooting out.
Well, and I was asking on Twitter and about this with Scott, and one of his buddies said that a strong flow, just making sure that you disperse it enough, so it's not like all in one spot and compacting the grains, is fine, is good, is what you want. So I think I'm going to try to build up to, opening up the valve at it to full bore during the mash, pretty quickly, like probably within the first 10 minutes.
We should get him on, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we went to high school together. We roomed in college for 2 years together. Me and him were roommates in college.
Okay.
And when I saw his homebrew setup, like, what are you doing? Like, he doesn't have kids. I got two. I blame that. He might have kids now. I think he might. I'm super bad at keeping up with people. we had for 4 years in college, we had a radio show together.
Okay.
At our college, we had a radio show. Because as you can imagine, someone like me would have a radio show.
Yeah, were you on at 2:00 in the morning like I was?
Oh, it was super late at night. I don't know if it was 2:00 in the morning though.
Yeah.
So, what was the name of your radio show in college?
It was Insomnitech, and it was we played electronic, techno, trance, house, dance music, that kind of thing, for people that were up late at night, finishing homework, cramming for tests, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling that?
Well, whatever reason they were up. Yeah.
Can I find it online anywhere still or no?
No, it's gone.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for my radio career.
Yeah. No, it's
what was
gone.
your show, Scott?
It was the Monday Night Minority Report. Minority Report was a popular movie at the time.
Okay, the Tom Cruise movie, right?
Yeah, in 2001 is when it started, and we would play B-sides and rare recordings. The Minority Report is what we called it. You know what? We didn't really stick to a format, and we got in trouble for it a lot at the radio station. But I did like all the promos for the radio station, and Cool Edit Pro, by the way. And that let us go through because I did all the promos.
Okay. So you
So
got a little bit of
did you go to a
leeway
big
that way.
school or small school?
There was a large school. It was a state school.
Okay, all right.
And it was a Monday night show. And we had a theme song that was a cappella. And I recorded the whole thing, all the a cappella voices. And this is really weird. I don't even know if I should say this, but my parents would come out they would drive the 40 minutes to show up at the radio station to listen outside in the parking lot to listen to the radio show.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
My parents
That's actually
did not
cool.
do that.
That's
at
a
all.
beautiful thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's totally not creepy at all, right? Totally.
No, dude, it's your parents.
Yep. They would drive
Yeah.
out.
Okay, well, like you or whatever. Yeah, that's creepy. But now that we're all this age, I appreciate
Yeah.
that more now.
Yeah, okay.
No,
No,
at that
I
time,
agree.
I'm like, goddamn
Yeah.
parents, really? They're outside. They're gonna want to go for dinner. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go drink and smoke pot with my friends. I'm done.
Uh-huh. Right.
By the way, pot isn't legal where all you guys are, right?
It's legal here in
Oh, we got
Illinois.
Is it really?
Medic-
Yeah. Yeah,
medical here.
Recreational became legal on January 1st.
Oh, we have medical, but we don't have recreational.
Is that on
Illinois?
We got
Is that on a ballot right now though in New York?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just
all right.
thinking that's going to be one of the things that's going to bring the economy back.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
Especially New York State, come on.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, honestly, I think that's one of the things that got that pushed through in Illinois, and I think you know about this. Illinois has one of the worst financial pictures of any state in the country, and legalizing marijuana was seen as a potential way out, just because of the added tax revenue.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did it work?
Hell if I know. You know? Well, I mean, listen, I don't think you can properly gauge that right now because of what's happened with COVID.
True. Yeah.
Tell them it's an essential business here.
It's an essential business here in Illinois.
that's true. That's true.
Well,
yeah,
and that's-
yeah. Legal and medicinal weed is qualified as an essential business in the state.
Yeah. And I think they're doing that because of the medicinal part, and they're just saying, well,
I
if
think
you're-
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, just keep the money rolling. Keep the
Yes.
money rolling.
Yeah, But anyway, yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I just want to say
Okay,
goodbye. Nice chatting with you all. See you on Monday, hopefully. Send me a link.
Yeah.
You'll get it. Always a
Absolutely,
pleasure,
will do.
Polly. Have a good one. Cheers.
All right, cool. Talk to you guys. Bye.
Talk to you later.
I don't have to go.
No, we're not done.
We're good. We're here.
We're not done.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
doing
we're not
nothing. I'm drinking beer.
We are drinking
I'm-
beer.
I'm running low on beer. I don't know about you guys.
I actually have an empty glass. George, why don't you go first?
I should get some more. We're gonna stagger this.
I'll
Okay,
stay.
let's-
all right.
All right.
Let's.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's go one at a time. Let's
Okay.
go one at a time. We can carry the show. George, you go first.
Rock,
Scott,
paper, scissors.
Scott, no.
Are we gonna
No.
Okay.
It's already
No.
decided. George, you go first.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about you though.
Yes. We.
Right, that George guy. What the fuck, man?
All right. I think I saw. Back
Excuse
to
the
Future-
language. I'm sorry. At
Do not
109:43.
say fuck. Well, okay, we talked about Hitler. We talked about OJ, and now we're saying fuck.
That's right.
You see what an evolution that is. Anyway, what was I going to say? There was an interesting article about Back to the Future. I saw online today. Apparently, they thought, and this is a good debate. I know how I feel about it. People are saying that there was a plot hole in the first movie that George and Lorraine, as adults with older children, did not recognize Marty as the guy who brought them together back in the 50s.
Yeah, of course. As not recognizing him as their kid. I mean, they wouldn't have.
No,
back
that's
in
how
the
I feel
50s.
about it. That's how I feel about it. I think it's too much time. You don't have photographs to look back on. I don't think
No.
you would. I don't think you would look at that and be like, wait a second, hold on.
Over that amount of time?
Right. This was over a week.
I'm
That's how
playing-
long Marty was in 1955. Was a week. You're wearing a Back to the Future shirt, George. That's what brought this on.
Yeah. Okay, I was playing the what is the topic du jour, game. Yeah.
George,
All right,
or
Scott,
both
you're
of
next.
you,
Go get a
Are you-
refill.
are you guys familiar with Captain Dissolution?
Yes.
I'm not.
Okay, and his Back to the Future stuff. Because if you're not, then you need to see his
I
Back to the
choose
Future
to
stuff.
ignore his Back to the
Captain
Future stuff because he spends the entire time saying why it wouldn't work.
It's super good though. The way that he does it, his visual effects are amazing.
I know, but to be fair, Back to the Future is far from the worst time travel logic. The worst time travel logic in the world is Time Cop.
But
What's
The
this guy's name again? How do I find it?
Dissolution.
Captain Dissolution. He's been on YouTube
His-
forever.
His videos about the visual effects in Back to the Future though are phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely a rabbit hole to go down, Jason.
I'm in.
If you want to spend hours on YouTube, you should go to youtube.com/WNY Brews.
And when you
But-
run out of those,
After that, you should go to Captain Disillusion.
there you go. All right.
Well,
So-
I feel like there's never been a better time to fall down a YouTube rabbit hole. So I'm in.
That's right. Yeah. No,
I'm still traveling down the history rabbit hole of YouTube, like
Yes.
Mr. Carey history and Oversimplified and Salmonella and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Those ones
working
are
on
fun.
this new website, buffalobeerleague.com. And the Buffalo Beer League is a can't think of the word. They're known around Buffalo. It's still not the word I'm looking for, but they're a known entity around Buffalo.
Infamous.
And yeah, they're not quite infamous. Like infamous?
Yeah.
They're a known entity around Buffalo. And they needed a new website, and I needed a new avenue for West New York Brews. So we're partnering up,
Okay.
and everything seems to be going well between the Buffalo Beer League and West New York Brews. Everything is on buffalobeerleague.com.
Okay.
I don't remember how this came up. How did this come up? We were talking about Back to the Future and Captain Dissolution.
Captain Dissolution. Then we talked about random YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And then you brought this up. So
Nope,
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
But if you guys ever need two jokers from another podcast as guests, just let us know, and we'll be happy to jump in. And
if you
and
want to
do
be
that.
in, we're starting multiple podcasts. That might have been it right now. We're starting multiple podcasts.
Okay.
We have a couple of them right now, but I want to get a homebrewing podcast in
Okay.
because that's what West New York Brews has always been.
Right.
is a homebrewing podcast, and right now the past 3 weeks have all been just Buffalo beer related, which are phenomenal. That's part of it too. But I want to focus on homebrewing too.
Right. And so now it's your turn, Scott. We both have
To go get some beer, it
to
is.
go get us some beer.
Have at it.
I'm
Or some, what was it? Mead
Sizer.
Sizerum.
Mead Sizer with
Mead Sizer.
with the rum fortification.
Yes, yeah. Well, if that's what you choose to drink, that's what you choose to drink.
I might go get some more of that before the corks pop out.
Before the corks pop out, yeah. It's a good idea. Oh, man.
My cream corn flavored beer.
Cream corn.
Well, because I had this was the last batch that I made, the one where
Okay.
you and I were talking the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's this one. I'm calling it my it's a cream ale base, but there's
Right.
corn that was in the mash.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you crack the corn
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
through a grinder?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the most unique flavored beer I think I've ever made. And I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I really
Do you like it?
I do. I just honestly like this is a beer that I would so look forward to sharing over at Emmett's.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe send me some snow globes and that could be your contribution to the bottle share.
I mean, listen, I have other samplings in the kegerator, so
All right.
I certainly know a guy who can make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think we should definitely do that. I think that's a great idea.
I 100% am on board. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great call, by the way.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I'm glad to see my connection has finally stabilized. And,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is there anything that makes a difference about that?
Nah, just time
It's
of
just-
night, just what's going on around.
Really? Okay.
Fortunately, it's a little bit of a crapshoot for anybody watching. Is why I drop out every once in a while, but I come back, and luckily StreamYard is able to keep us going, even if that happens to me. So
Yeah.
thank you,
yeah,
StreamYard.
I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, so this weekend we are venturing out a little bit, but being safe and everything. And there's this part left over from my Herms coil. And this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about attaching a quick disconnect male onto here.
Okay. All right.
I've got some silicon tubing, some high temp silicon tubing, hose clamping that onto this end, and running that into my mash tun and poking holes in it so that it like sprays out from the sides, and then putting something on the end to close it off on the end so it forces it out the sides of the tubing.
So are you a this as like a sparge arm? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hold that up again. So cut holes in that. So no? Okay.
No, don't cut holes in it in this. Attach this. Attach a quick disconnect to this so I can.
Yeah, I
connect
got
it.
that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and then attach a silicon tubing to this.
Oh,
and then
I
punch
see.
holes in the silicon tubing.
Oh, I see. Which attaches to that. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
No, I'm with you. I'm with
to
you.
distribute the liquid so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
all go to
Okay.
one spot and compact things.
Okay.
So that's my current MacGyvery thought in how to handle that.
I think that's a great thought. I really do.
My other idea was to put this on an arm down in, face it up, and then put some sort of deflection thing so the beer shoots up and then like gets deflected down.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It might be.
Well,
Yeah.
look at it like this. Remember that's 168 degree water.
Right.
So, I mean, if you have any kind of like shower projectiles that are going around. That's really hot water. Don't deal with that. Just press it down where it needs to be.
Jason,
and honestly,
you know I'm no
there's temperature
stranger to
loss.
hot. You know I'm no stranger to hot water.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm looking out for you, saying, George, don't do that. Also, listen. I'll even apply to your technical side. You're gonna have a potential for temperature loss because that's going to be exposed to air for longer if it's going upwards.
That's true. I mean, I wasn't gonna put it like way up.
It doesn't
was gonna
matter.
be,
It's
you know.
I mean, it's greater than 0. If you follow gravity, you're going to have less of that.
That's true. That's true. Okay. We were just talking about how I was planning on MacGyvering my sparge arm together. And so
It's great, isn't it? Putting this
it's so
stuff
much
together,
fun.
the DIY stuff.
yeah, honestly, I have as much fun doing that as I do brewing beer.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
I
the
was
opposite
telling-
of that. I enjoy DIY stuff. However, going to the Grainfather and the Robo Brew, like, oh, good. I can just be done and just brew beer.
I get it. I do. It's autopilot brewing, but
It's
I
not
tell you,
autopilot. However,
semi-autopilot.
That's honestly never using one of those. That's how I see it too.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like the easiest possible home brewing.
it's not. It's not the Pico Brew.
Yeah,
the
that's
stuff
the
like
easiest
that. That's the
possible,
easiest
yeah.
possible home brewing. I
Okay.
did a whole podcast episode on stuff like that where this is brew in a bag.
right.
If you've ever done brew in a bag, it's a brew in a bag system.
I have not, but I understand. I get the similarities there. Yeah.
So it's what I'm missing out on. What I used to do with a 3-tier gravity system. What I'm no longer doing is the switch from the mash tun to the boil kettle. And that's about it. Everything else is exactly the same.
So the one thing with the brew in the bag system or Robo Brew is how does the sparge work on that?
Yeah, it's a mix of batch sparge and fly sparging.
Okay.
You could set up a fly sparge system, but as it is, I'm pouring hot water over the grain bed for the course of maybe 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
So the sparging is you lift the grain pipe out of it and then you sparge over the top of that for the 30 to 40 minutes and you just keep replenishing the water.
Okay.
And you can set up a system where it's a fly sparge system on that.
Right.
It's not you can't really do a batch sparge.
Yeah, because it's even that's not really a fly sparge though, because a fly
Right,
sparge,
it's a mix.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
mixture.
So, yeah, huh? That's
And
interesting.
it's
you're less. I mean, honestly, you're less kind of sparging and more washing the grains.
well, yeah. I
like
mean,
that.
that's what sparging really is.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
not
Interesting.
the parts of this system that are automated are the temperature
Okay.
and the recirculation, and that's it.
Okay.
Everything else is hands-on. So I get the idea that it's automated brewing because that's how I felt about it before I started doing it. But the only parts that are automated is keeping temperature, really.
Okay.
And recirculating the mash.
Right.
But otherwise, everything else is exactly the same.
Okay. Interesting.
Everything else is hands-on. I mean, with something like a Pico Brew, the hops are in there and they get added at the correct time.
Right.
I mean, this you're just dumping in hops
Right.
into a hop spider just like you would into a boil kettle.
Jason, have you seen these Robo Brew or Grainfather? Have you seen them in action?
Demo videos. I've never
Okay.
been around for a live brew day.
Okay.
It's time to do a live brew day at the house. That's what's going to happen.
All right. Well,
I'm all for it.
we're already set up to do that on Big Brew Day if you want to join us.
Yeah.
On May 2nd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Maybe that's probably what I should do is I should May 2nd, I should do a live brew day here.
Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
I'm gonna brew before that because it's only the 23rd today.
True. But that's only,
Well,
I mean,
look
May
at that.
2nd is only a week away.
11 days away.
Well, if you
Right.
got go-to recipes that you can pull up real quick and have supplies to make, then yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. See, okay. So the difference here is you and both of you guys, even though we're kind of locked down, you still have people to share with. Me,
Yep.
I'm very limited in that. So whatever I make, because people have been asking me, have you been brewing a ton? And I'm like, no, because whatever I make, I have to drink. So I
True,
need to make
yeah.
sure that I'm not making too much that it's just sitting around.
Well,
I get that.
the first batch of the Sierra Nevada Pale Clone, I put it in the kegerator outside, and I used the Blickman Quick Carb to carbonate it within a day. And that went about 6 days, maybe 7 days, before my dad came up to me because we live next door to each other, and we share a kegerator. And he said, "Hey, you're spitting foam on the keg outside." And I said, "It's 10:30 a.m. How do you know that?" But I filled that one up and I put the new one in, and I've got 5 gallons going again. I'll have another. Jason's gone.
Yeah, he'll be back.
And I've got another 5 coming up soon. I've lost the point of what we were talking about.
Yeah, that brewing too much, that you have too much that you can't share it and things. That's what we were talking. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Between myself, my wife, and my dad, who we all share a lot, 2 houses on one lot, it's going very quickly.
Right.
So yeah, new brews are coming in once a week, and if I
Yeah.
can get once a week, they will go once a week.
That is awesome.
That's intense. Yeah.
So I mean,
It's-
do you have enough
intense
like
is the
grains,
word.
hops, and yeast to maintain that?
Well, the yeast wise, I'm redoing the same brew twice at least to make sure that they're going on the same yeast cake.
Okay.
All right.
Hop wise, I mean, the Sierra Nevada is nothing but Cascade, so I bought a bunch of Cascade.
Right.
And the New England IPA I have, which will be done very soon, is 3 hops, and I got a pound of each.
Okay.
And I have maybe 2 more 5-gallon batches of that on these hops, on Mosaic, Azaka, and Citra.
Okay. All right.
So for the grain,
For the grain, the local homebrew shop is
Still
open.
trucking. Okay.
okay, is still open. Okay.
Is open and doing takeout.
Take
okay.
out orders.
All right. So and my shop is doing the same thing. Okay. All right. So you have access to keep your brewing operation at full pace.
Yeah, and it's going hard right now.
That's
Just
awesome.
Sounds like, yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
being home, it's going hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, George and I, we've still only had the one brew day between the two of us since the quarantine began. Is that still correct?
That's
You haven't
still
had a
correct.
second. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. My next one is the porter.
Is the
coming up.
big brew day? Yep.
Big Brew Day. Yeah. And then as we're heading more into springtime and warmer climes, I think my next one, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to do a yogurt sour and see how that works.
Nice.
Yogurt sour.
Mm-hmm. So using yogurt to kettle sour a beer, and because I hear that you could do that pretty quickly, and you lose a lot of that, super. You don't get a whole lot of that super sour tang that you have to wait on it like you do with lactobacillus. So the turnaround time on that is pretty quick.
I'm going to make a New England. That's going to be
New
my
England? Okay,
yeah.
a hazy. All right.
Taking the plunge. I have a lot to learn.
All right, good.
And
I'll tell you,
go ahead.
I was gonna say you have that. So behind you is your guest room.
Yeah.
And in the bathroom, off your guest room is your fermentation lab. Typically,
less often these days because of that temperature controlled fridge I have in the garage.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And then that closet that's in your guest room, you don't use much except for some storage. I think I vote you clean that out and turn that into a yeast lab.
That's a pretty big.
I'm not
yeast
here
lab.
to know.
Sounds like a yes. I'm hearing.
Sounds like a yes to me.
That's a big yeast lab there, sir.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
It's a closet. No.
Okay, all right.
You have like.
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just thinking, how could I pull that? Just thinking of like the inventories of yeast that I've seen people have in their homes when they cultivate yeast, and I've known 2 or 3 people that have done that. When you look at like the yeast that they're maintaining, it's all in some refrigerator setting with a whole bunch of mason jars just lined up one after another, and that's kind of what
you have
you're
an
looking
outlet
at.
in there, I think. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so absolutely. But and you could just get a little like college freezer and just have little mason jars of yeast in there. All you need is a instant pot for an autoclave.
Oh my God.
A microscope and a few other things. It's fine.
An
Wow.
Instant Pot autoclave. I heard that.
Wow.
Yep, you did hear that because
Yeah.
you can use it as a pressure cooker, and and you can use it as a makeshift autoclave, and it works to sanitize things.
Wow.
Yeah,
Things I never ever would have pictured. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting idea.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm always intrigued, like just the kind of the usage that I get of certain different things in my house, to accommodate the beer and wine making and mead making and all that. But I had never pictured turning a closet room into a yeast lab. That's a new one.
Well, I'm just thinking about how I've been a guest in your place a number of times, and I've never used it. So it's free real estate.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
just to give another example of that, this too, that, listen, my downstairs master bedroom doubles as my cleaning room for all
Yes, it
my
does.
equipment
Yes, it
because,
does.
because it's got hot water out of the bathtub,
Yep.
which sounds really kind of backwards, and it kind of is, but that's what I've got.
Yeah. So
You need hot water
so-
to do PBW wash. So that's
it's true.
what you got to do.
You do. So Scott, do you have like a yeast lab setup, or are you not that advanced with it?
In my fridge, I
Well-
have 2 strains of yeast in my fridge right now.
Okay. So do you like take samples of it and check it for viability and things, or do you just kind of dump it?
No,
I've seen people do both.
no, they're in the fridge,
Okay.
and I will build up a starter. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I will build up a starter based on what beer I'm doing. So I have a Quebec yeast in the fridge and a London ale, and for my next my next New England IPA, I'll build up the London Ale, but for the Quebec, I'll probably just toss in a tablespoon of it and see how it goes.
Okay.
So you made New England's before. I may have questions for you
Ha!
because I've never done it before. I know it's a little bit of a different process. No?
No, it's very similar. Or no, it's very similar, but it's different. You're throwing in the yeast, right? Or I'm sorry, you're throwing in the hops at the same time you're throwing in the yeast.
In the primary?
Yeah, right in the primary, right at the very beginning.
See, this is the stuff that I was needing to learn because I didn't know that.
That's new to me as well.
Yeah.
And we will have this talk, but I am past the point of having a very good discussion tonight.
I was kind of getting the inclination there, but point well taken.
Okay, so let's put that one in the brain box. We'll do that next time. So Scott doesn't have to focus on that.
Show,
we'll talk about
New England
England's.
IPA.
We will have the discussion. I don't think I'm going to have a good discussion tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Next show. Next time you're here, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Let us know ahead of time so we know that we're going to devote a show to that.
Hey, the first 40 minutes, I would have been there.
It's all good, man. What's up, George?
So, when we talked before, I had mentioned the show, and Scott, I don't know if you've seen it either. What's it called? Brew Brothers on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
show.
on Netflix.
Have you watched it at all?
I haven't watched it yet. I've seen the reviews of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so here's what I'll say: if you're a fan of the comedy stylings of the show The League, you'll probably like it. I never was. I was not a fan of The League, so I'm not a big fan of this. But I did watch 2 episodes, and I will say this. Whoever wrote that show knows the beer making process and knows some of the perils of starting up a brewery. Because they hit a lot of those nails on the head. And I'll tell you what, the one brother is that guy that every beer club has that you hate. And if you watch the first episode,
notice we both all simultaneously laughed at the same time.
We know who you're talking about. We know
it's always that one guy, and you're just like, oh man, just stop, you know? Yeah, but yeah, that's so. I'd be curious if you guys I'm not going to ask you to commit to a season, but if you guys do get a chance to watch like the first episode or 2, I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on it.
Absolutely. You got it.
Yeah.
So we're coming back to Brew Brothers and we're coming back to New England IPA.
Yes.
All right. I think we got a point to send us off on then.
I think we do. Yeah.
Good deal.
Good deal. Yeah, before we run out. So
I forget about this. I don't have something to cheers with.
Oh,
is that bottle empty?
No. He's pouring. He's good.
Yeah, he is. Okay. What's that second beer you got, George?
Oh, that's
we didn't get to see this.
Yeah, it's the albino monkey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From Strange Ways.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we cheers, let's give out our website and social media links one more time.
See, this is why it's good you're around. Yeah, I always forget to do this.
Check us out at www.aniceplacetobrew.com. George is a wonderful web designer. He's designed a fantastic website. Check it out. We also have social media links at Facebook, Instagram, at Twitter, at A Nice Place to Brew or Nice Place to Brew. We do the webcast here every Monday and Thursday throughout the quarantine at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. Central Time. Always check us out here at the on the YouTube channel and also on our social media links, and look out for future shows. Let's send us out. Raise a glass.
Hang on, wait, Scott. Do you want to? Do you have your social media and things?
Yeah, sure. BuffaloBeerLeague.com.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Beer League, spelled LEAGUE.com.
Okay.
You know, league.
Right.
And West New York Brews is there right now.
Nice. All right.
Very
So
good.
Jason,
Yeah.
you want to send us out?
Water, malt, hops, and yeast. No way. That's not
That's
the
the
right
wrong
show.
one. That's the wrong
Yep.
one.
It takes a lot of good beer to make great beer. Cheers.
Cheers.